My small business just received a federal grant for $1 million. Yeah. It's a Somali daycare. It's based in Minnesota. I'm sorry, I'm trolling. They already gave all the money to Israel. So apparently fraud is running rampant in Minnesota, which is shocking when you see that their governor looks like he always just woke up. Every photo of Tim Walz, he's like, it's like, it looks like you just told him that fraud is happening. He's like, fraud! Yes, Coach Walz, please. Apparently this fraud has been going on for a very long time, which almost makes you think the government knows about it, but nah, they ain't like that. Our government would never be in on fraud. All of this recently erupted because of a video that came out. A 23-year-old YouTuber, Nick, surely still on his mom's healthcare, drove around Sub-Zero, Minnesota in an unmarked SUV with two guys in ski masks wearing all black with cameras and a random guy named Dave, banging on the doors of Somali daycares, yelling, "Where are the children?" Which may be not a great look in the era of Epstein. The only thing they needed at that point were German accents, like, "Where are the kids?" And so they're going around banging on the doors, okay? Shockingly, the Somali community was not very welcoming to this. I don't know if you know this, the Somali community has just had war waged on it by ICE and the President of the United States. And ICE has basically been all around Minneapolis in two ways specifically, but it's winter. But ICE has been covering Minneapolis and specifically targeting and intimidating the Somali community. So naturally, you see in this video, they're coming off a little guarded. So they go like, "Where's the kids? This is a childcare. Where's the kids?" They're like, we don't want to talk to you." And they would close the door. They're like, "See? Fraud. Has to be fraud because they closed the door on us." It's even more suspicious. You have this kid, Nick Shirley, and listen, as a fellow YouTuber myself, okay, I respect the art of content, and as a comedian, I am also a master of deception, okay? So game recognized game, okay? But this kid, okay, he knew what he was doing. He knew he was going to situations where it was going to make them look sketchy because he didn't point out on his end of the story that his crew looked very sketchy. So the way he portrayed himself in this video was just, it was him and this guy named David, and they're just going around asking very genuinely, like, "Hey, where are the kids? If this is daycare, why are there not kids here?" But he didn't reveal that he had two masked men with him. Big dudes, and you can see them like later in the footage. I had to watch the whole thing for this research, but later in the footage, like you're like, wait, who are those masked men? And they were with them the whole time. So these guys who literally look like ICE are rolling up to these, Somali businesses and being like, "Where are the kids? This is a daycare, right? Where are the kids?" Was he expecting them to like bring out the kids and line them up in alphabetical order or something? This is Samir, Jameer, Ramir, Amir. Okay, I don't know Somali names, I'm sorry, okay? So Nick Shirley, who's 23 years old, he looks like a kid, is saying, "Hey, I want to put my son Joey in daycare." Like, how old were you when you had Joey? Were you 10? "I just have my little son Joey wants to join this daycare." They're like, "Okay, where is your son?" He's like, "That's none of your business. By the way, where are the kids you have?" Like, okay. Like, you're just playing games with these people at this point. And so he's like, "Yeah, I'm just looking for a daycare for my kid Joey." And they're like, "Okay, you're definitely ICE, bro." And he's like, "No, I'm just looking for a daycare for my kid Joey." They're like, "Yeah, that's what ICE would say." Like, they were literally here last week and said the exact same thing, except they said Danny, you know what I mean? So this is just reading a little bit weird. In the video, there was a daycare that said Quality Learning Center, but learning was misspelled. It's very ironic, or ironic if you don't use N's, but yeah, it said Quality Learning Center. But in their defense, I think that was a reference to Shakespeare's King Lear. And if you're not familiar with that plot, King Lear was a play where a king divides his kingdom into two and gives it to his two daughters who hate him and banishes the one daughter who loves him, only to find out that was a bad idea. So they try to fight back for the kingdom, and in the end, everybody dies. Sorry, spoiler. But yeah, divided kingdom, in the end, nobody wins. Kind of a great analogy for United States politics, actually. But this video was essentially massive rage bait. The video also doesn't show that some of these businesses were already permanently closed because they're being investigated for fraud or because they have like code violations. Also, he did not reveal that some of the businesses were just not open. You can just check Google Maps and be like, they were not open when he went there. Also, something he definitely does not say in this video is that he was shooting this on a Wednesday during school hours. Most daycares open after school because I don't know if you know this, maybe you should check in with Joey, but kids go to school, okay? It's only very, very young kids who get dropped off for full day daycare. That's not as common as kids who are in school, whether it's kindergarten, elementary, or high school. They come usually around 2 or 3 p.m. In the video, there's even a woman who runs the business. She's like, yeah, the kids will be here at 2 p.m. He's like, oh yeah? Well, we'll already be editing the video by then, so there's no way to confirm that. Also, some of the businesses later revealed, they later did press, and they said, here's literal surveillance footage showing that the kids came later. So basically, the irony is that he's trying to report people for fraud when he literally committed fraud over like a 30-minute video, okay? Now, before I get your liberal claps, let's also acknowledge that there is fraud in the Somali community of Minnesota. This is, in fact, actually a very unfortunate thing that's now being used to stigmatize the group as a whole. But the thing about this is the fraud is already under investigation. In 2021, an organization in Minnesota was caught funneling COVID relief funds, okay? And this organization was called Feeding the Future, which is also what I call when I overeat. This organization was basically stealing COVID relief funds. They said they stole nearly $218 million in COVID relief funds. Yes. So first of all, these people already went to trial, okay? 82 people were indicted. 72 of them were virgins. No, sorry. 72 of them were Somali. Sorry, they could have been virgins. I don't know. But yes, a lot of Somali people were involved in that scandal, but the founder of this organization was a woman named Amy Bach, which, as you can tell, is a very authentic Somali name. I don't know what part of Somalia she's from, but send her Bach, okay? There's this claim circulating that the fraud in Minnesota is amounting to almost $10 billion. But the federal investigator who's looking into this specifically said it could be 10 billion. We won't know until we're finished investigating. We only know it's a few hundred million. Okay? That's like me telling a woman that I'm a billionaire, and then she sees that my net worth is 60K. And she's like, you said you were a billionaire. I could be a billionaire. We just won't know for a few, maybe dozen years. This whole daycare fraud scandal in Minnesota has really highlighted America's lack of critical thinking. You know what I'm saying? Like, racism should not be used as an excuse to deflect from pointing out fraud, and fraud should not be used as an excuse for justifying racism. It's not hard to accuse people in a group without being racist. Like, saying the Somali community is committing fraud, that's racist and inaccurate, okay? Saying some people in the Somali community are committing fraud because Somalis be pirated, that's still racist, but more accurate, okay? It's also really annoying that everyone now is calling them Somalian. It's Somali, okay? Somalian sounds like an alien. It's Somali, like Pop Somali. Pop Somali. See, we're leering. In my opinion, daycare itself is already a scam. Why am I paying for other people's kids? Okay, yes, granted, I do hate kids. That's my personal problem. I'd be equally as upset if I found the kids were being taken care of. So yes, like some of the daycares in Minnesota have actually been committing fraud. They've been collecting money from the government and not actually having kids there. And some of them are even allegedly giving a cut to the parents, which sounds like a great deal, honestly. Honestly, I would have a kid to get a cut of that. But like, really, let's give it up for the government that didn't notice for over 10 years that there was no childs at the child's daycares that they were funding. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't think to check that part? It's in the name, child daycare. Where are the childs? Just Just like the whole Epstein thing. No one's watching the kids. And people of all races commit fraud. It happens. Yeah, yeah. More of us should do fraud. You know what I mean? Really. Fraud is part of the human psychology. Yeah, I learned that from Sigmund Freud. Come on, guys. Come on. I just wrote that one right now. But yes, people are, but they're targeting all their hatred toward the Somali community like they're a fraudulent community, when nobody's pointing out that Trump has already pardoned over 20 people convicted of literal fraud for confirmed billions of dollars. Billions of dollars, okay? And guess what? None of them are Somalian. Now you have people in America like, I don't want my tax dollars going to Somalians. And it's like, dude, like what happened? Remember when we grew up? Every day there was infomercials. Like for $1 a day, you can feed an entire African family. What happened to that spirit, man? So what? Now it's like 10 million. Inflation. Thanks, Obama. You know what I mean? Like, some are even claiming that some of this money is being funneled into a militant group in Somalia called Al-Shabaab. Not to be mixed up with Al-Kebab, which is a great restaurant. Highly recommend, 5 stars. Al-Shabaab is basically a friend of Al-Qaeda, like our president. And the federal investigator in charge of this entire investigation has already said multiple times there is no evidence that money has gone to Al-Shabaab. Okay? And even if it was, it would be coming from the United States government. So it's basically big terrorists funding little bro terrorists. You know what I mean? I'm kidding. Only one of them bombed Nigeria this Christmas. But the timing of this is all very interesting because it comes after all of Trump's rhetoric about the Somali community being garbage, everybody being hyper aware of what's going on in Minneapolis. And now you have people completely angered, just being like, this whole Somali community in Minnesota is taking money from taxpayers in the United States. And so it's created all this anger nationwide, and the anger has escalated. Like J.D. Vance tweeted this, so you know it's like serious, right? And Trump is also echoing what was shared in this documentary. And so now the government's talking about it. Clearly, there's only one solution. Regime change in Somalia, right? That's got to be the only solution, right? If only there was an opposition government already ready to go to take over the Somali government. What's that? There is one already? But only if there was one that had a similar name to Somalia but was like slightly different. Like not Somalia, but like Somaliland or something like that. Like Candyland, but for Somalia. What's that? There's a Somaliland already? Okay, but if only Somaliland was backed by a fierce military from the West. Oh, what's that? Just last week, Israel was the first to recognize the state of Somaliland? Oh, wow. You guys are always one step ahead, aren't you? You really are our greatest ally. Thank you, Israel. You know what? Give them 10 billion. Yeah, no, make it 12 billion because baby needs her fighter jets. So great work, Nick Shirley. Can you go to Tel Aviv next to see where our money went? Surely not. You gotta admit, isn't that really generous of Israel to recognize the state of Somaliland with nothing in return? Oh, what's that? Somaliland could take the 2 million Palestinians that Israel is trying to ethnically cleanse from Gaza? Come on, now. But that would cost a lot of money. How much money? 10 billion? Get the fuck out. They're saying it would take $10+ billion to relocate the Palestinians of Gaza to Somaliland. The exact amount of money they're claiming is coming out of Minnesota and going directly to Al-Kebab. Is anybody else's conspiracy door going off here? Ask Somali people. If you don't have a Somali friend, make one. Go to Minnesota. They're there, okay? Put your kid into daycare if you need to. If you ask any Somali person what's going on, they'll tell you they're typically not a fan of Somaliland. In fact, most Somalis will tell you they're trying to divide our kingdom. Kind of reminds me of this play called King Lear. But you would only know that if you leered it. So congratulations, you've all been red-pilled now. The only way to opt out is to resume to taking Percocet. Or better yet, pop Somali. Thank you so much, San Francisco. I love you guys. I'll see you soon. Be safe. Take care.
So there's not a lot of famous Lebanese entertainers out there, Lebanese American. Salma Hayek, there's Shakira, Sammy Obeid. Yeah, Obeid is Arabic, but when I travel, I put an apostrophe after the O on my passport, so it looks Irish, you know? I'm half Lebanese. Leban in Arabic means yogurt, so we're yogurties, because we got a lot of culture. But I put Lebanese on my dating profile, and a woman asked, "What ethnicity are you?" Which made me think, oh, she can't read. Or she thinks Lebanese is like a disorder. Like, how long have you had Lebanese for? Well, I was born with it. When both your parents have it, you're like twice as likely. She's like, is there a cure? Yeah, an apostrophe.
No, say it. You want me to talk about something? Oh, Matt, you want me to talk more about masturbation? Dude, I've never heard that before. Talk more about pleasing yourself. Yes! Does anybody have something non-sexual they want to talk about? Therapy. Okay, that's all. Yeah, that's a good. Whoa, masturbation guy. Wait, what's going on? Are you cheering him, booing? That was so weird. Any specific kind of therapy you give? CBT. Oh, I thought you said CBD for a minute. I was like, so easy being a therapist. I'm like, just take fucking 2 drops and you're good. What was the name? CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. Does anybody know what that is? Dude, masturbation guy knows what that is. That's fucking crazy. He's like, that's what I call masturbation. Cognitive behavior therapy, bro. Cognitive behavioral therapy. Shit. Awesome. So you're there. How long have you been a therapist for?
10 years.
10 years. That's amazing. Wow. I was going to be like, give it up for that, but nobody wanted to. You deserve it. No, 10 years. That's amazing. If you had to describe what that style of therapy is in a nutshell, what would you say?
Don't believe everything you think.
Wow. That's, bro, you guys should have clapped for that. Don't believe everything you think. So you're basically telling people to doubt themselves. It's like, and you seem like a very fair person, you know? Like somebody, you know, like a client calls you up, like, I'm not good enough, like, don't believe that. And then another one calls you up and like, I'm awesome, don't believe that either, okay? I took therapy last year because I quarantined with my family in 2020, so I'll need therapy for the rest of my life. So, I had this problem where I would always think that I'm a bad person because of interactions with other people. I'd be like, oh, I didn't give this person enough time of day, I didn't tip this person enough. He broke it down for me in a way I never thought. He said, you're not a bad person. Just the fact that you're having those remorseful thoughts shows that you're a good person. So last week, I punched someone in the face, and I immediately apologized. I said, no, I'm so sorry, I'm not a bad person. I just want to let you know I punched you in the face because I'm really sorry about it. And then I fired my therapist too because I'm good now. And he was like, why? I'm like, because I'm not a bad person, you know? And then he's like, is that because I'm not good enough at therapy? I'm like, don't believe everything you think.